everyone, Linda here again with you from Garnet Jewellery. This week we're doing something different. I had a comment, someone's over the links, so I'll share something else with you. If you're over the links, then please just leave me a message down the bottom saying so, and I'll do other things. As I said before, if people were tired of the links, then just let me know. I've only had one person so far, but that was enough to inspire me to do something a little bit different for you. I want to keep everybody happy, and it's that's, you know, a hard thing to do if I don't know what you want. So anyway, this week we're doing an earring. This is the earring that we're going to be making. I'll just lay that down there so you can see it a little bit better without my hand behind it. Just a little idea I came up with. So if you'd like to learn how to make this earring, then just stay with me. I'll gather all my supplies together and we'll get going. Okay, so we're going to start off with our 18 gauge wire here, and I'm going to flush cut the end, and I'm going to measure off 9.5 centimeters. And 9.5 centimeters is 3 3/4 of an inch. So there, that's 3 3/4, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 3/4 of an inch. So you'll need 2 of those to make a pair of earrings, obviously. So both ends are flush cut. I'm bringing in my oval beadsmith mandrel, and I'm placing my wire on the very bottom one of the oval of the mandrel, and I'm just leaving a small tail sticking out there. That's just enough to turn a loop. And I'm bringing the other side of the wire around, and bringing those ends together. So we've got this horseshoe shape. Oops, stand up. Okay, I'm going to get my hammer and my rubber hammer and my bench block, and we're just going to give that a bit of a stiffen up just to strengthen it. So give it a good pounding both sides, especially around this bottom part. Okay, that's nice and firm now. Okay, from here I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, and I'm going to turn a loop on the end. And I'm just going to do that on one side for now. Just like that. And then I have some garnets here, little nuggets. They're not actually chips because they've been tumbled, and so they're more of a nugget. And I've got graduated sizes in them. So I'm starting off, I'm putting on the smallest one, well, one of the smallest ones, and then finding the next size up, which would be about that size there. So I've gone through my beads and chosen these ones for their sizes. Next one would be this one. Just make sure you've got ones that the holes are big enough to fit 18 gauge wire through. So I've got 3 there, I've got 3 left. I've got to figure this out. Okay, then I'm coming to the largest. Oh, his hole's just a little bit tight. Let's see if you'll go on. No, I'm not going to push it. Okay, I'll just stop this video here and I'll find another one. Okay, I'm back with you. I found one that fits. So I'll pop him on. And then I'm going to come to, I mean, they just don't have to be exact. You can, you know, it doesn't matter if they're, you know, exactly graduated or, you know, whatever, just whatever looks pleasing to you. Oops, come here. Okay, so we've got those on. They're sitting there in the middle like that. And I'm going to grab some 24 gauge wire. And you don't need a huge piece of this. That should be plenty. So I'll just give you a quick measurement on that one. That's about 17 centimeters, which is about 6 3/4 of an inch. Just roughly, it doesn't have to be exact, but that's, you know, just what I've cut off. Okay. I have to start on this side here, because I don't want my beads to slide off. All right, so we're just going to coil this wire around now. Just get it started like that. Now I've chosen to not go all the way up my earring because I wanted a couple of different layers of texture, but you could come all the way up just to where before you turn your loop, so you know, so that the whole of the earring is covered. That's, you know, your design idea. Like you know, what I'm saying is you don't have to follow me exactly. You put your own little twist on it if you want to. So we're just going to coil those beads around, the wire around. Trying to keep those coils nice and neat. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit here because of those beads. And I've got my wire caught up there. Hold it up this way and see if I manage that a bit better. There we go. Okay, so rather than make you watch me coil this, you don't need to do that. I'm sure you all know how to coil wire. And I think I've shown you enough if you don't. Just make sure you keep your wraps nice and neat and not coming up on top of each other. I will come back when I have coiled as much as what I think I need. Okay, back with you for a sec. So I finished this side. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side here. And just when you start it, get my beads back there. make sure you start in the same place, like so that it lines up, and you're winding back this way. And I'll come back when I've finished this side here and show you where we're up to. Okay, so I'm back. I've got both sides wrapped, as you can see there, which means our beads here sit nice and firm. They're not moving around. Now, if you wanted them to move around, well, obviously just don't do the coiling. Just have your beads free flowing. Totally up to you. It's as I said, I'm just giving you an idea, inspiration, and you take the design any way you want to take it. All right, so we're just going to finish off this loop now on this side. Just get closed up a bit better. Okay, now they're out of whack a little bit, so I'm just going to fix them up. And then come in with my flat nose pliers and just grabbing that loop and giving it a bit of a twist like that. And the same thing on the other side. Now they're pretty equal now. Just give it a bit of a straighten up. Okay, my coils are a little bit uneven now, but I can fix those up later just by pushing them down with my wire straighteners. Okay, so now moving on. I've got my little cluster thing here, and I've used, I'm not sure what size that jump ring is. It's hard because I make my own, so I never measure. That's, I would say 8 millimeters in across. Yeah, 8 millimeter jump ring there, and I've flattened it, but you don't have to flatten yours if you don't want to. I just wanted that little bit of difference there, so I've threaded some of those on. So I wanted to show you, as you can see, I've got all different sizes there, and I didn't measure any of them, so you just I've just done some small, some a little bit longer. With the longer ones, I would just say make sure that it can swing freely when it's hanging on the earring. One of mine says probably a little bit too long. Yeah, I've got one there a little bit too long, but that's all right. I can fix that up just by adjusting the loop at the top. So I just want to show you now. I've got one here. This is a little one. And it's straight at the moment. Just how I just gave them a bend. I mean, it's quite easy. You can pretty much do it with your fingers, but I think you get a nicer shape if you use your pliers. So I just came in like this. Give it a little bend there. Go up a little bit further. Give it a little bend there. Another little bend. Keep the top part fairly straight. So just play around with it. Bend it as much as what you want. Just like that. And this one here, I'll make him quite short. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to make him about that short there. Yeah. So just a matter of bending that back, then coming in with your cutters, cutting that bit off, round those pliers again, and turning him over. I'm just going to straighten him up a little bit at the top here, just using the box part of my round nose pliers here to do that, and close him up a little bit more so he can't wriggle off the jump ring. I'm going to take that longer one off here, and I'm going, that's that one there, and I'm going to make him a little bit shorter. So I'm just cutting a little bit off to start with. So you just go in small increments until you get the size that you want. You can always cut more off, but you can't add it back on again. And I'm just going to bend him back a little bit like that. Straighten him up. And it doesn't really matter how you place these on. So, okay, I'm going to put him on. Him on. So you just place them on in any order you want. And then we're just going to attach him in there. Probably have to hold this with your pliers so that you can get it through the other side. This bit's a little bit fiddly. See what I mean? It's a little bit fiddly. And it makes it a bit harder even trying to do it on camera. I know I keep saying that, but it's so true. Things that I can sit here and do, and there's no camera in front of me, taking up space, is amazing to what I can actually do on camera. Oh, come on, get on there. It's like a little bit of a juggling act, and hold your mouth in just the right position. I know it goes on there because I've done it. Stay on there, guys, come on. If it doesn't go on this time, I'm going to have to turn the camera off and do it off camera where I've got more room. Come on. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to turn the camera off. This is going to drive me insane otherwise. But you can do it, believe me, especially if you don't have a camera in front of you. I'll be right back. Okay, back. And while I was off camera, I can't believe I did this, I noticed that I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it on the earring, and why I was having so much trouble with it. It was because I picked up the wrong size jump ring. Look at that. Look at the difference in that size. So that's what it was. So that I measured this one at 8mm. This is a 10mm jump ring. So use a 10mm jump ring, not a 8mm jump ring. So okay, let's put these little doovies on here. And as I said, don't worry about how you place them on. Just make sure that you've got they're facing the right way. Okay, let's try this again. Just, oops, I've got my pliers there. Holding on to that, get the guy inside there. right, why is it going on now? Okay. I'm trying to think how I did it on the other earring. I must have done something different. Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did. Got to put it through that side first. Now you got to watch me thread all these things on again. As I've said before in other videos, it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't have some sort of problem in it. Okay, there we go. That's how you do it. Amazing how the mind just goes blank sometimes and you can't think what on earth you were doing. Okay, close that up. That was a nice close. I heard the little click then. So didn't just twist him around so that you can't see the join. And look at that, everything moves nice and freely. Not like before, I wasn't having any, and not having any of these problems now. That's beautiful, I love that, that's gorgeous. So now all we have to do is add an ear wire. Where did I put that? Over here. So I always make my own ear wires. This is just a very simple one. The only thing that I pay attention to, really pay attention to, is the loop itself. Once I've made it, I always trim it so that when I close it back up, I get a really nice circle there and not that straight bit that, you know, you get when you do some loops. Add him onto the ear wire. And I didn't open that up wide enough. Close him up. And that's our earring. So that's what he looks like. You can hopefully see there how that, oh, you can't really see on the camera, sorry guys, I can't hold it at an angle. Here you can see how these so that's the catchy, but like the eye-catching part is those wiggling around, and especially once this one's been oxidized and cleaned up, and you can see how much shine. Actually, then I haven't finished polishing this yet, but that when they come up like really shiny, it's got to go through the tumbler and all that sort of stuff to get it nice and shiny. But that's our pair of earrings, like that. Now, if you didn't want to add these dangly things, but you like this part of the earring and you wanted something different, you could pop something like this in, leave one of these, leave the center bead out and attach a briolette or a you know, drill through stone in a pear shape. I just love these two colors together, the garnet and that turquoise. I think that looks absolutely beautiful. I love those colors together. And one other idea that I did was this one here. So rather than have the little tumbled nugget beads, I've used some rondelle beads and just one piece of wire for this one. So I started my coils on there and then just wound around them and finished my coils up that side there. So that's another idea for you. I'm sure there's heaps of other ones that, you know, you could come up with if you adding beads at the bottom if you wanted to do something different. But this was more of a design tutorial rather than technique. There's not a lot of technique in this. It was just giving you guys a design to play around with. All right, well, that's it for this video. I just wanted to remind you, Facebook has been going now for about 2 weeks. I think we're up to about 15 members on there, and all the lovely ladies on there are starting to upload photos of their work, either using my designs or, you know, like the ones up there so far are pretty much my designs, I think. But you can, you know, using somebody else's designs, it doesn't worry me one little bit. I just would love to see all your work, and all the other ladies that are there at the moment would love to see all your work just for inspiration. Everybody needs some inspiration somewhere along the line. I can only come up with so much at, you know, at one time, but other people are out there working on their pieces, so therefore there's more inspiration. So it's free to join the Facebook. I'll leave a link down below. Also my Patreon, I'll leave a link down below for that. It's only $8 a month for that. I've got 4 different tutorials up there at the moment. There's another one coming this week. So if you really want to learn more about freeform wire wrapping, I encourage you to join up. You can cancel at any time. Just, have a look and see what you think. As I said, get lots more inspiration. We're doing lots more different things. Got something like this coming up shortly. This one's not finished, totally finished yet, but just there's lots of different things that I'll be putting up there. This one here as well. Yeah, so that's all I can think about at the moment. I think, yeah, that's nothing else I wanted to say. I probably was, it always is, and I always think about it later on. Anyway, guys, have a great week, and I shall see you all next week. Please don't forget to like the video down the bottom. Any comments that you have, please leave them. I love to have a chat with all of you. And I will see you all next week. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.